This podcast is part of the It Was a Thing on TV podcast network.
Okay, man, you gotta go out there and you gotta hit them high. You gotta hit them low. You gotta hit them high and you gotta hit them low. You gotta fight. And you ain't gonna stop until the fat lady sings. Oh, Romeo. Remember, it ain't over till it's over. And winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. So go out there and kick the daylights out of those pencil neck geeks.
The WWF Raw Bowl. New Year's night on USA.
We're gonna kick some butt.
Oh, the Raw Bowl is going to be absolutely awesome. There'll be marching bands. There'll be cheerleaders. Give me a football. All right, down, set, hot. Please. I want the pigskin, the brown. This'll work. 41! 33! Wing right 32! Hot! Kid goes back. He's looking. Ooh. Sorry, man. I thought you were going to catch it. Anyway, the Raw Bowl, Monday night, it's going to be incredible. Plus, you will see Big Daddy Cool Diesel squaring off against King Mabel. A big test for the new attitude of Big Daddy. Plus, for the first time on broadcast television, from in your house, the first ever Arkansas Hog Pen matchup. Hunter Hearst Helmsley and the Hog Man, Henry Godwin. And look at that slop, huh?
Folks, let's strike up the marching band and get ready for some football here on this episode of the Squared Circle Time Machine as we cover the first ever and the last ever WWF Raw Bowl from 1996. Greg here with Dane, and Dane, I know you're Canadian. You don't know probably a lot about college football, but you know this is the time of year here where we get excited because it's the new year and it's bowl season.
Yeah, that's always like growing up. Actually, we actually would usually get I think either the Rose Bowl or the Orange Bowl usually on one of our terrestrial stations would simulcast broadcast it. So I kind of knew like the Rose Bowl was obviously a big deal. I thought it was like the championship of your college football teams. And then, of course, later on, learning that there's like a whole bunch of others. Plus, even watching the sitcom Coach also taught me a little bit more about bowl selections and bowl invitations and stuff.
Oh, yeah, because Coach, I mean, that's educational for college football.
And, of course, learned to be disappointed there actually isn't the Freedom Bowl held at Valley Forge.
Hey, at least Dalbert went on to be Patrick Starr.
Yeah, Craig T. Nelson got some of that Disney money, too, from voicing Mr. Incredible in both the Incredibles movies, so...
Yeah. And let's not forget about Jerry Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Okay, but we got to talk about current wrestling and... Oh, man. AEW World's End. And once again, MJF is the AEW champion.
Oh, well, count me as one of the few people who doesn't get, or I kind of get him, but I don't see why everyone goes all gaga for MJF.
Now listen, he's a Long Island boy, so obviously I have to support MJF. I have to support my fellow Long Islanders.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I support the Hearts no matter what here, too, because they're all Alberta boys. Except for Bruce, because he's the shits.
But I find it hilarious that Samoa Joe, after beating Hangman, just 1 month as champ.
Yeah, it seems like, again, it's Joe, again, is being just used as a transitional world champion because he was put in that situation there, too, with Pepsi Phil there during I think that would have been the All-In Glass incident. So, and then I guess we're getting a face turn from Moxley now, as he won the Continental Classic and now is the Continental Champion.
Which means that now Okada's no longer the unified champion, you told me?
Yeah, because apparently now the unified title has now been deactivated from and disappeared off the AEW pages for their list of champions. So, what was the point of the unified title again?
So Tony can have a 19th belt.
Ugh. Tony.
Oh, speaking of Okada, we had, I think, in one of his matches last night, maybe the worst finish of a match I've ever seen in my life. Now, Dane, can you describe what happened in this match?
Okay, I believe this Okada and Takashita. Okada somehow got a screwdriver and clumsily was trying to put it onto the second turnbuckle in the corner. And the ref is just kind of standing there like, what's going on? And everyone else is kind of standing around too, going like setting up the spot, I guess.
But it was like the dumbest spot of all time. So I'm like, if the ref saw the screwdriver, why didn't he DQ Okada?
Or even just take the screwdriver out and enough for distraction for like Takashita or Okada to hit like start to hit the 5 or 6 finishers to maybe end the match. Promotion of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Promotion of the year.
No, I thought CMLL was going to get promotion of the year. That's what Dave's trying to rig it for. Freaking 4% voted on it in a Twitter poll, and Dave had to bitch about it.
I'd be more concerned about the fact that in that Twitter poll that WWE was like 68%, AEW was like 25%.
Oh, Dane, you know that's all like the Russian bots, right?
Oh, yeah, I know that's Russian bots and North Korean hacker dudes.
Well, let's get on to a brighter note. We have New Year's Evil. We talked about it last time, but we do have the rematch between Blake and Thea set up. And, oh, man, we had a cat fight on NXT.
Yeah, we definitely had a cat fight, and Blake channeling a little bit of desperate Mariah May again and coming out looking despondent and heartbroken that the North American title was taken away. And yeah, we had a good old-fashioned cat fight.
Oh, man. That is the one match I'm looking forward to on New Year's Evil more than anything is Blake and Thea. So we're heading towards the Royal Rumble. Do we have any idea of how the Rumble is going to play out?
No idea, because of course, being it's in a blood money country this time around, we're probably going to have the women's match. Everyone's going to be all the women's match will be nicely covered, but still somewhat revealing cat suits. So, got to give the Saudis a little bit of credit for meeting halfway. But yeah, even the men's, I don't know what, because I mean, if I want to put on my fantasy booking hat hair bits, but knowing that the plan is Roman Cody 3 at Mania 42, but I want to go a different direction and book Obafemi as the winner and face Cody and totally demolish him at Mania.
I guess you could do that, but I don't think they're ready to pull the trigger on Obafemi just yet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Now, I have heard that there's a possibility that LA Knight could get a push this year in 2026, so maybe a possibility of him winning the Rumble.
Yeah. Then probably have him kind of go then do like the Jey Uso thing and go after the world heavyweight title, because we'll see if it'll be, because it could be probably still on Pepsi Phil at the time, or maybe it'll be on Braun.
Maybe, I don't know. But we are going to have a 3 stages of hell match between Cody and Drew for the WWE title.
Yes, somewhere during their European tour that they're doing here in a few weeks.
And let's be quite honest, Cody's going to win.
Yeah, but I would really love to have like an extended heel McIntyre reign somewhere. He's been putting in the legwork for promos and being a pest, and the fact that he had to get his major title win against Brock during the COVID's empty arena era.
Has he filmed all his scenes in Highlander yet, Drew?
I don't know. I mean, that's probably why he's been off TV quite a bit. Although I'm guessing too, because there's chatter that at least, that I guess Chris Jericho's AEW contract expires on New Year's Eve. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's heading back to WWE for a retirement run. So could be a surprise entrance at number 30, I guess, or depending how quickly they want to get him onto TV.
He would be a good surprise entrant for the Rumble, Jericho.
Yeah. And another legend for Gunther to claim for his own Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, God. Fucking Gunther. And him doing the 6. Did you see him doing the 6-7?
Yeah.
6-7. All right, so let's get into a time way before 6-7. We're going to New Year's Day, 1996, and we're in Newark, Delaware for the first Monday Night Raw of 1996, as we have the Raw Bowl. And what is the Raw Bowl, you ask? Well, it's a tag team match of 4 teams, and it's done football style.
It's basically a fatal 4-way with extra steps.
Yes. Now, at this time, Dane, in 1996, we had the college football bowl games. Now, at this time in 95, 96, it would be the first year of the system to determine a national champion called the Bowl Alliance. Now, let me describe what that is. The Bowl Alliance involved the SEC Conference, the Big 8 Conference, the Southwest Conference, the ACC, and the Big East Conference, as well as independent Notre Dame. And according to Truth by Consensus Wikipedia, because of this, only one of at-large slot was available for teams to vie for. With the disbanding of the Big 8 SWC following the 1995 football season and the formation of the Big 12 Conference in its wake, an additional at-large bid became available. The Alliance's bowls were held on 3 successive days in each of the 3 years of the Alliance's existence, with one game played on New Year's Eve, one on New Year's Day, and one on January 2nd for the national championship. A Bowl Alliance poll was formed by adding together the point totals from the AP and coaches polls. The top 2 ranked teams from the Alliance conferences met in the Bowl Alliance national championship game, which rotated between the 3 Alliance bowls, always held on January 2nd. Because the Big Ten and Pac-10 conferences were contractually tied to the Rose Bowl via automatic bids for their conference champions, their conference champions could not participate in the Alliance Bowls. Nevertheless, the conferences could be represented in the games if one of their teams procured an at-large bid to a Bowl Alliance game. This occurred twice, with Penn State playing in the 1987 Fiesta Bowl and Ohio State in the 1988 Sugar Bowl. Now, this season, in 1995-96, on this day, we had the Orange Bowl on January 1st, 1986, as Florida State beat Notre Dame 31-26. The previous day on New Year's Eve in the Sugar Bowl, Virginia Tech beat Texas 28-10. And the following day for the national championship of the Fiesta Bowl, Nebraska beat Florida 62-24. Oh my God, at the half the score was 35-10 Nebraska. Okay, Tommy Frazier, the quarterback for Nebraska, had 1 touchdown passing, but had 2 touchdowns rushing for 199 yards.
Jeez.
The quarterback ran for almost 200 yards.
That's insane for a quarterback.
Oh, God, yes. Now, the Bowl Alliance lasted until the 1997 season, and starting in the 1998 season, we had the Bowl Championship Series, which lasted into 2013 until it was replaced by the College Football Playoff. So if you want to know more about the BCS, we did record an episode of It Was the Thing on TV back in 2022 about the time when the BCS was on Fox, when they had the contract for that back in the late 2000. So go back and refer to that episode if it was a thing on TV. But we got this Raw Bowl coming up. So, all right, it's the first Raw of New Year's Day, 1996. So, what a way to kick off the new year, huh, Dane?
You got people in between games and stuff, so why not do a little cash in or jump in on the football madness a bit?
All right, let's play this here. It's the opening for the 1996 Raw Bowl. Never before, never again, Dane.
And now, the USA Network proudly presents the 1996 World Wrestling Federation Raw Bowl.
I love the fact that these kids and all these fans are going nuts for the Raw Bowl.
I love the little kid there that's like, Bravo! Not quite the same energy as the famous kid from SummerSlam 92 with the British Bulldog's going to win, whether he wants to or not.
I love the fact that he was wearing a Miami Dolphins starter jacket. His mom probably got him at Bob's.
Yes, folks, it's finally here. The bowl game of bowl games. The stepdaddy, or the Mac Daddy of them all. The band is playing. The cheerleaders are cheering. Coach Blassie has given his final pep talk.
So can we describe what we're seeing here at 29 seconds?
Okay, we got Fred Blassie, good old classy Freddie Blassie inside like a classroom with a bunch of the roster talking strategy about football.
And you can clearly see Yokozuna, we can see Psycho Sid, and we can see Owen right here.
Yeah.
I think, is Owen wearing a Vancouver Canucks hat?
It's very well, looks like he does.
Oh, man. You think that Owens turned so much of a heel that he turned his back on the Calgary Flames?
Well, 95 would have been a good time to do so because the Canucks were actually one of the better teams in the Pacific Division, so...
And they were just, like, removed from the Stanley Cup Finals run against the Rangers.
Yep.
Dandy Doc is walking the lot. Jimbo Jim is waiting to talk. The field.
Now, Jim Ross is outside the locker room like he's a sideline reporter.
Yeah. He's got kind of like a surprise / shocked / confused look like, why are you filming me here?
Damn it, Kevin.
Has been laid. The Raw Bowl Queen has been crowned. 4 teams, 8 superstars will battle it out on one field, vying for the trophy. A galaxy of stars has been assembled. Big Daddy Cool, yes, Diesel is here, along with King Mabel. Gold Dust is here. The Nacho Man is here. Who?
What? The Nacho Man?
Nacho Man?
Huh?
What the?
The Huckster is here. The what?
Wait, the Huckster?
The Huckster?
Obviously, they got the skinny Hogan superfan that always used to show up at all of Hogan's low point matches in the WWF.
Scheme Gene is here. Well, I got a bone to pick with that guy.
Scheme Gene?
Why does King have a bone to pick with him?
I don't know. Maybe he said some salacious things about him on his hotline.
Could be.
Maybe he made some incorrect information on him during his recently acquitted case that he had to go away for a bit.
Even Billionaire Ted is here. What's he doing here?
Billionaire Ted is here.
Billionaire Ted? Will Forte, about 15 years before making his appearances on Conan's show.
Will Teddy Jr. be here too? Will the stuffed buffalo be here?
Maybe it's a maybe it'll be part of a mascot battle. Teddy Jr. versus
Pop-Tarts Bowl mascots? We could get a time machine.
No, better yet, Teddy Jr. versus the Bushwhackers Kangaroo.
Oh, yes! Teddy Jr. and the Bushwhackers Kangaroo. That would be a 5-star classic. Main event anywhere in the building, to quote Gorilla.
We're all here for the very first World Wrestling Federation Raw Bowl.
Okay, I like the fact that they did this thing that Monday Night Football did back in the day, where they had like the 2 helmets and they all collided into each other and it causes an explosion and shit.
Yeah. I like the fact that you got like an actual marching band here playing.
Oh yeah, they probably got like some local marching band in Delaware to do this for the night.
Yeah.
So
The only thing I was disappointed in that we didn't get a marching band versions of everyone's entrance themes.
oh yeah, that would have been awesome too. That would have made this whole thing great if they had just done like a marching band version of Yokozuna's theme.
Yeah.
Oh, look who's here watching all of this too. We have Gold Dust and his usher watching this.
Oh, okay.
Well, this is certainly not the Orange Bowl.
And it's definitely not the Fish Bowl.
It can't be the Fiesta Bowl.
And it's not even the Tiny Bowl.
Welcome to the first ever WWF Raw Bowl and a Happy New Year. Hello, everyone. I'm Vince McMahon along with Jerry the King Lawler.
Now, I have to describe the Chiron here. Vince's Chiron says Vin McMahon, but Jerry's is hilariously Jerry Musburger King, which of course is a reference to him being the Burger King, but also a reference to ABC college football announcer and former host of the NFL Today at CBS, Brett Musburger.
Oh, okay. I knew it was either a broadcaster or a coach or some kind of reference to that.
Yeah.
Much I'm guessing the Vin McMahon, I think, is probably the only Vin I can think of is Vin Scully.
Oh, yeah, because Vin Scully, I know, did football for CBS back in the day. So,
Okay.
but I don't think he was. I mean, 96, he would have long since stopped doing it for CBS.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that Jerry is wearing a Cleveland Browns jersey. As we all know, Jerry's a big fan of the Browns, but also at this time, the Browns were in the middle of their move to Baltimore. I have to respect Jerry representing the Browns, even in the midst of the relocation drama.
Yeah. And of course, he would then later on to draw heat during his feud with Jake Roberts and during their match at SummerSlam, he'd come out in a Vinny Testaverde Baltimore Ravens jersey.
Oh, yeah. And I know that had to just kill him deep inside
Yeah.
to wear that.
And in an odd way, you can thank the Canadian Football League for helping get a team back in Baltimore. As the former one-time only Grey Cup champions, the Baltimore Stallions were the only successful expansion team to actually draw crowds and make money.
That's right. But do you remember, Dane, that they actually tried at one time to call themselves the Baltimore CFL Colts?
Yep, I remember that.
All right, let's resume.
Emanating from the University of Delaware, yes, the Bob Carpenter Center, home of the Blue Hens, and there is a collegiate atmosphere here tonight.
Oh, I'll tell you this. Coach Newt Rodney, Coach Blassie has his players ready. They're chomping at the bit. They've got the chin strap buckled on tight. Nobody should miss the Raw Bowl. Nobody. So I've got tickets for Elvis. Because it takes a king to know a king.
Now, Dane, you're not going to get this reference, but the whole leaving tickets for Elvis is a reference to former Houston Oilers, Atlanta Falcons coach Jerry Glanville. And legend has it he'd always leave 2 tickets for Elvis at the window at the will call.
But Elvis died in 1977.
That's what they want you to think, Dane.
Okay, or maybe he's hanging out with the Bat Boy and the Bigfoot sex worker that comes up talking about a lot in the Weekly World News.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh, Mills. Oh, I'm going to get some seats. I want to watch Jerry Glanville and the Atlanta Falcons because I love Deion Sanders. Oh.
We're ready for the kickoff.
Welcome, everyone, to the first ever WWF Raw Bowl.
Here they come. Yes, a couple of first-round draft picks if there ever were. Yes, number 38, number 45, wearing the jerseys proudly, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're talking about Billy and Bart, the Smoking Guns, the tag team champions. You can bet they have their game plan together.
Now, I love the fact that they had this giant sign, like at a high school game, that had Monday Night Raw on it, and the Smoking Guns just came running out of it.
yeah, the good old paper. They were really going for the football theme here tonight.
Yes. I do like that their jerseys, Billy and Bart, are 38 and 45.
Yep.
Because guns, get it?
Guns, yes. Caliber. The jersey numbers are going to be a recurring theme here in this match, so keep an eye out for them.
But they better have their guns loaded because they're going to have some stiff competition. It's all about the national championship here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in the world.
It's all about the national championship tonight, Vince. There is no national championship being competed for.
Not tonight, at least.
No, the national championship is tomorrow between Florida and Nebraska, Vince. I'm pretty sure that the Guns titles aren't on the line in this.
No, because well, there was no mention of their titles being on the line, or even mention. I think later on they finally mentioned what they're playing for, and we'll talk about that when we get to that point. So,
yeah.
Wrestling Federation, and look who's headed into the frozen tundra as we speak. That's right. We're not talking first-round draft picks. We're talking Heisman Trophy winner. There he is right there, Owen Hart. And then, look at behind him, the Outlet Trophy winner, Yokozuna.
The Outlet Trophy winner.
Outlet. Now, kind of explain to me a bit about the Heisman, because I know the Heisman Trophy is kind of like a big deal with the. Is that kind of like a rookie or just like overall best player trophy?
Yeah, it's the overall best player in college football gets the award.
Okay.
And it's the most prestigious award in college football to win.
Well, there we go. So Owen Hart at this point, future two-time Slammy Award winner and Heisman Trophy winner.
Actually, hold on. I need to see who won the Heisman in the 1995 season. So I'll be just like, Eddie George, future Tennessee Titan, won the Heisman in 95.
Oh, interesting.
And the current coach of Bowling Green University, Eddie George. Actually, that gives me a chance to reference Punch the Cat, the famous living mascot right now for Bowling Green.
And look at his jersey, McMahon. 641. That's not just his number. That's also his weight. Wait a minute. Let's go to this tackling dummy.
Okay.
But split screen here, so while we're focused on Owen and Yoko making their entrance, we go to the right side with Brother Love, who I guess just made his return here recently. And he's giving a speech to, I guess, the remaining players in the back.
The joke is, Dane, there's nobody in the back listening to this speech. And Brother Love is unaware that nobody's listening to this speech. But Brother Love's kind of trying to be like how the preacher who gives like a pregame prayer before the game or something.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This is so... Oh. I do appreciate that Brother Love has all the gold rings on his finger.
What's Brother Love doing back in the locker room? Some of the players are already out here. That's the pregame invitation. Invitation? I guess. Well, Yokozuna, along with Owen Hart, filling up the ring, ladies and gentlemen. The Smoking Guns are in there as well. And there's going to be a Big 8. We're not talking about a conference. We're talking about the Raw Bowl. And here comes a perennial All-Pro. Yes, here comes the bad guy, Razor Ramon, along with his free agent tag team partner, Savio Vega.
Okay, so Razor has 4. Obviously, a reference to this being his 4th Intercontinental title reign. Savio's got Raw, Ball, and his number is Uno.
Uno, because Puerto Rican.
Sure. There are any great NFL players that ever came out of Puerto Rico?
That would be a good trivia question to ask.
Okay, some players of Puerto Rican heritage include, according to Google AI, so don't blame me, include Victor Cruz, Braxton Berrios, and Fred Warner.
Household names all, I'm sure.
Free agent. I think Savio will be more of a walk-on. Uniform on the jersey of the bad guys. Signified the number of times he's won the Intercontinental Championship. Hey, wait a minute. There's a fan. Yeah, there's a fan.
Wait, a fan's gonna present something? Oh, wait, it's the usher. It's
the usher.
Yeah. What's the usher gonna give Razor?
Oh, yes, because this was the beginning of the Goldust is gay. Gay for you. And no, with Razor.
Now, my favorite Scott Hall story that he told was Vince trying to push this whole angle on him with Goldust. And you know the famous story, Dean, of what Vince told Scott Hall?
Oh, I'm almost afraid to ask about it. Because it's been a while since I've heard it.
Okay, so to ease Scott Hall's feelings about it, he said, "Let me tell you about my first homosexual experience."
Oh, God.
And then Scott Hall said, "As opposed to your most recent homosexual experience?"
Oh, God. Well, recently, a few weeks ago, we learned that Brett was pretty convinced that Vince and Sean were lovers, so
I guess the signs were always there.
the evidence was there, Your Honor, the whole time, so...
And they're on the sideline. That's not a fan. That's Goldust Usher. Wait, what's that box of flowers? Hey! Oh, no! That's a personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. What's he doing? Razor Ramon! Tumbling!
I love that the cheerleaders are jumping up and down during this.
Yeah, speak that Usher to death.
Goldust Usher, who was presenting what appeared to be a box of flowers to the bad guy. He punted him. And Razor did not appreciate that at all. And
Oh, look who it is in the background, dude.
Background, Goldust. And thankfully not pulling an Orlando Jordan.
Oh, God, Dane. I think we're going to have plenty of moments with Orlando Jordan this year that we're going to go, Jesus Christ. Oh, all these mind games that Goldust is playing on Razor Ramon.
look who's in the end zone. You know what, McMahon? I think we've just witnessed an illegal forward pass. Well, certainly an incomplete one as we see the remnants of what appear to be gold roses.
Gold roses, Dane.
Gold roses, those are... I wouldn't necessarily smash those up.
Oh, yeah, those could be worth money. But, I mean, if the roses are all painted gold, then those roses are dead. I don't blame Razor for being pissed at that Usher then.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dustin has terrible taste in keeping flowers good.
You have to question the Goldust playbook as of late. Well, I think that Razor was way out of bounds when he didn't accept that gift. Well, let's just hope that Goldust stays out of scoring position here tonight on the Raw Bowl. And now, here we go with Ted DiBiase's goal line defense. Here comes the 1-2-3 kid. Check out the jersey on him. Oh, yeah. And Psycho Sid. Two individuals recruited.
Okay, the 1-2-3 kids' jersey number is 1-2-3, and Sid's is 00.
For some reason, Mandola affected the fact that I thought that Sid had like the infinity symbol on his jersey for this match. Guess just because the 00s were kind of close on it, that maybe thought it was, so.
Yeah.
By Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Booster Club, and I would suspect that the
What did he say? Oh, I gotta go back here.
three kid, check out the jersey on him. Oh, yeah. And Psycho Sid. Two individuals recruited by Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Booster Club, and I would suspect
Oh my
$1 Million Booster Club. Recruited by the $1 Million Booster Club?
You know, it's too bad, Dean, that this was years before the introduction of NIL in college football. Could you imagine the NIL fund that Ted DiBiase would have for the $1 Million Corporation?
God, yeah, that would have been quite the impressive roster he could have filled up and bought instead of having schlubs like King Kong Bundy and Nikolai Volkov. Although this seems to be a nice pairing, I guess. I mean, you got the recently turned heel 1-2-3 kid who's got quickness and all the martial arts stuff, and then you got the brute power strength of Psycho Sid.
Yeah, this is like a good oddball team right here.
Yeah. And I think coming up, we get like Kid doing jumping up and bumping chests with Sid.
Yes.
Coolest thing I've seen happen with Sid since doing the fist bumps with everyone for his entrance at Survivor Series 96, and then having a "Who's the man? You're the man" shout off with Vladimir the Superfan.
Yeah.
just might be looking into possible recruiting violation. Wait a minute, McMahon. You're way offside. This is not...
Recruiting violation. Now, I'm guessing this was probably years after, because I know I sometimes go through weird rabbit holes and exploring things. Does this have to do with the infamous SMU recruiting scandal?
Oh, the pay for players? Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
might be a reference to that.
Grambling, this is grappling. Nonetheless, you can expect a quarterback sneak from that man right there, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, and that's why I like the chances of his $1 million team. Hey, they could go all the way.
In other words, you would say they are the favorites here to win the first ever Raw Bowl tonight.
6.5 points, easy.
That's not the point spread I heard. Nonetheless, let's get to the rules. All right, each team gets one timeout no matter when.
A timeout?
They can call time only once, however. And then again, let's talk about this. A team is eliminated when one individual of that team is eliminated in any manner whatsoever. The whole team is out. How about this? You can tag in any other team member from any other corner at any time.
You mean somebody can tag in Sid and he'd have to wrestle against the kid?
That's exactly right. But once tagged, physical contact must be made before you can tag back out. The coin toss already took place earlier on with Earl Hebner, the head linesman.
The head linesman is Earl Hebner.
Wouldn't it make more sense for it to be an actual referee instead of a linesman for this kind of a match? Or if they're going to go with that, then have at least maybe two other referees outside acting as the linesmen?
Yeah, you could have had, like, Tim. You could have had Ken Doane. You could have had, I don't know, Mike Chioda.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is going to be a long Scott review for this match, so get ready. This is basically a one-match show, so...
Yeah, because basically it's this match, and then we get a appropriate squash match at the end, and then sandwich in between a rebroadcast of match from the last In Your House pay-per-view. Well, a little bit disappointed, but not totally disappointed, because I thought it was going to be Brett and Bulldog, but instead it was the Hog Pen match.
Yeah.
But hey, we got to see Hillbilly Jim again, man of the people, so...
Yeah, especially if you're anywhere near Mobile, Alabama. You're pretty much excited for this.
Yes.
All right, let me go to Scott for this, for the Raw Ball. So here we go. Goldust sends flowers to Razor via his usher, but Razor beats the guy up and smashes the flowers. Man, you'd think a guy with so much machismo would be more comfortable with his manhood. Vince and Jerry are way over the top with stupid football terminology, and they're all wearing football jerseys, so you know they spent a good hour playing this out. Each team gets a timeout for use anytime in the match, and it's elimination rules. Bart hits Owen with arm drags to start. Owen immediately tags in Billy, so we get the gun showdown. Oh yeah, Billy against Bart here. The smoking guns explode.
Oh.
But then they do a hip toss on each other and immediately tag in Owen and Yokozuna.
That doesn't make sense because they both tagged out at the same time, so then I thought you could only do one tag at a time.
Well, they said physical contact has to be...
Oh, okay, I guess, yeah. Okay, so and then maybe say it didn't have to be necessary tag someone else in, or one person per team, so...
Owen stalls, so Hebner throws a delay of game flag.
Almost should have busted out the old yellow card, and that probably would have enraged Bruce a bit. No wonder he did the footstep on Vince at whichever Mania that was there when it was Brett versus Vince, and Vince was like, I bought your whole family off, Brett. And Brett's like, oh, okay, so you all gonna screw me? Well, guess what? We knew it, Vince. And we're gonna screw you instead.
Vince thought he was screwing Brett by screwing his entire family and buying them off, but no, Vince screwed Vince.
Yeah. Heart surprised. They were all taking a nap.
Okay, back to Scott. Owen gets knocked down and brings in Savio instead. Yoker slams him and stops him down, but it's over to Kid, who misses a leg lariat and gets clothesline for 2. Savio hits his own leg lariat for 2, but Sid makes the save. Owen comes in with his own leg lariat on Savio, and that gets 2, but it's over to Razor, who works a headlock on Bart and gets 2. Sid finally comes in and chokes Bart on the ropes, but Bart gets a clothesline for 2 and a suplex for 2. Sid beats on Savio, and Owen hits Savio with Inzaguri for 2, and we take a break. Back with Owen and Yoko working Savio over exactly where we left off. Kid comes in with a leg layered on Savio and then tags Yoko back in as we keep cutting back to Brother Love in the dressing room, preaching to no one. Is somebody going to tell poor Brother Love that nobody is listening to this?
Well, he's at least 15 years away from finding Conrad Thompson to be on a podcast with him, so I'm sure he would tell him that no one's listening.
Sid and Kid work Savio over in the corner as this drags on and goes nowhere, while Vince and Jerry make football reference after football reference, and Razor gets a hot tag and runs wild on Kid. Oh, hold on a second. I think there's a moment in the match where they say that somebody went to Penn State and Jerry references that person. I don't remember who, but mentioned something about State Penn instead of Penn State. And I'm like, oh my God, consider what was going on at Penn State at this time.
Oh no. No. Joe Pa, no.
Back to Scott. Kid calls a timeout and the ref makes Razor stop the beating. But he does the Razor's edge anyway while Hebner yells at DiBiase. And then Sid hits Razor with a clothesline and puts Kid on top of the pin at 10 minutes to eliminate Razor and Savio as we take another break. So what the fuck was the point of the timeout?
Well, yeah, nothing happened during the timeout, and then Razor sneaks in anyways and tries to Razor's edge the Kid, and DiBiase's up on the apron giving the gears to Hebner, and then Sid comes in anyways and clobbers Razor.
Okay, but something Scott didn't mention that I have to point out is during the segment, we have Jerry with the Raw Ball Queen.
Yes. And who is she exactly? Because I heard the name Ashley Edison or something.
Yeah, I have no idea who she is. She's probably like some model in the Newark, Delaware area they hired for the night, probably. All right, I gotta play because I haven't paused here at 9:10 and Jerry's got his binoculars watching this. Even though he's like super up close and can see everything.
Yeah.
Hey, Ashley, what do you think of the action so far?
This is crazy. I love it. It's wild.
Did you hear that, McMahon?
Yeah, I heard
He
you
said
better watch.
slap me.
Yeah, she loves you. You better watch your legal procedure.
What do you think of my jersey, huh?
Color. It's my favorite color. I love it. Favorite number two.
Your favorite number two.
Yeah.
Backfield in.
Her favorite number is 95.
And her favorite color is brown.
Oh.
Ooh. And Jerry Lawler saying, she loves, I heard it. She says she loves me.
Well, we'll see how that fares up for him later on tonight.
Yes.
Okay, but we get back for the break, so Jerry's going to use his telestrator in the style of John Madden. So I want to see how this plays out. So let me play this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to more of
Look,
the Raw
McMahon,
Ball.
everybody knows they're watching the Raw Ball. Let me explain to you the old draw play. Look, Ted DiBiase's on the outside, but he jumps up. He draws the referee's attention to him. He also draws a penalty flag, but that doesn't even matter. Because in the meantime, Sid, he comes in. He drags the Kid back over to the corner. Then Razor Ramon gets up. He's fumbling. He's stumbling. He's rumbling over to the referee. Sid comes in from behind. Hits the ropes. Comes up. Wham! Right there on Razor's back. Razor goes down. The Kid covers. 1, 2, 3. Razor and Savio are eliminated on the old draw play.
More like the old trap play, if you ask me. Let's take a look now. Sid coming from behind. A huge clothesline. Razor going down. The Kid covers Razor. Watching the left-hand side of your screen. Timeout.
Now, I do appreciate that Mr. Fuji was kind enough to let Earl know to make the pin.
Yeah.
Look, say what you will about Mr. Fuji, and he might have won Worst Manager in the Observer for like a decade plus, which I have to take issue with, Dave. Like many of your fucking awards. But at least he took the time to let Earl know you have to make the pin. Look, you Kid is covering Razor. Make the pin.
Jeez, so much vitriolic hate for Fuji there, Dave. Maybe it's almost like as if maybe he's stole and cooked your dog, Dave.
Well, hold on a second, Dave. Remember, Dave did have a racist dog, and Brian Alvarez can vouch for that. You never heard the story about Dave's racist dog?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, this is like a serious, sad story, but Dave like adopted this dog who was like abused by like a Hispanic man. So every time Brian would go to Dave's house, the dog would like bark hysterically at Brian. So that's where Brian jokingly referred to Dave's dog as Dave's racist dog.
It's almost like that King of the Hill episode with when guest voice Bernie Mac was hired in as a plumber, or not a plumber, but maybe a plumber, because trying to fix Hank's hot water tank, and his dog was all bad at him, and everyone thought it was because Lady Bird was racist, but it turned out that she just hates repairmen coming in the house.
No. Maybe Dave's dog didn't like Hispanic wrestling writers who Dave.
He doesn't like other wrestling writers coming in and stepping in on his new master's shtick. Best way to test that would have been to collaborate with Wade Keller or Mike Johnson.
Yeah. Let's get back to Scott here. We return with Bort getting worked over by various heels, and Owen hits him up with shoulder blocks in the corner and suplex for 2. Bort rolls him up for 2, but Owen goes up and misses a splash. The ref gets distracted again, and Yoko sets up the butt splash on Billy. Okay, now I gotta set this up here.
Yes, because this was the spot of the match.
Oh yeah, Yoko's gonna be setting up the bonsai splasher. Owen's gonna set him up for Yoko. So let's play this.
Field, debris. Well, oh no! Don't tell me.
Yeah, you're fixing to see some debris, all right. Owen and Yoko, they're going for it, McMahon. You're fixing to see the Hail Mary.
Oh no! Wait a minute! No, there's a double reverse.
Okay, so Bart was on the mat, set up for the bonsai drop. Billy comes in and pulls Bart out, and then trips up Owen, who does a pratfall on his face. And Yoko, not knowing, does the bonsai drop onto Owen's back. Thankfully, it was the second rope good ending bonsai splash from Yoko, who at the time was 641 pounds. So,
can you imagine how fucking crushed Owen's ribs would have been?
If it was the bad ending bonsai, yes.
Oh, God.
Can you believe that? We've just seen a double reverse. Yoko's headed to the outside.
Wait a minute. Timeout. Yokozuna's calling timeout.
The official doesn't see it.
No way.
The official didn't see Yokozuna calling timeout.
Where's the instant replay? Come on. Everybody
That was
saw
the
it.
old Raw ball. We don't have that anymore.
You're going to see snowballs come flying out of the stands if they let this go.
Well, let's stand.
Okay, now Jerry makes a reference to instant replay, and Vince is like, that was the old Raw ball. We don't have that anymore. In reference to the fact that the NFL used to have instant replay but didn't anymore.
Actually, speaking of which, whatever happened with that great debate from WrestleMania 7, if they're going to start using instant replay in matches?
Oh, that's right, because remember, it was the famous instant replay debate between, I think it was Paul McGuire from NBC Sports and George Steinbrenner about instant replay. And Vince was like, whoa now, gentlemen. And I think didn't it get interrupted by the Bushwhackers?
I think so.
A segment so bad, it's never been replayed either on Coliseum Video, DVD, the network, or Peacock. Now, Jerry did mention snowballs being thrown, and he mentions it later on at the end of the match. Now, this is a reference to something that happened the previous week at Giants Stadium between the Giants and the Chargers. So let me just explain this. So I have the Wikipedia page up for this event. So this involved a game between the Giants and the Chargers. So let me describe what happened here. Prior to this game, the New York metropolitan area had been experiencing a more active than normal storm season as winter approached in December of 95. In the 9 days leading up to the game, 3 storms had blown through the area. The last of these 3 was the most severe as the areas surrounding the Meadowlands received upwards of 9 and 12 inches of new snow on top of what had already been sitting on the ground for the previous 2. Maintenance workers at the Meadowlands managed to clear out the aisles before the game started so fans could access their seats. Many seating areas were still covered in snow, however, and had been sitting exposed to the elements for 3 days prior to the game. Entering the weekend, wind chills in the area were below freezing, and any snow that had been left behind had frozen over. And attendance that day was significantly below capacity due in part to the weather the icy conditions, and also because of the Giants' poor play at that point, as just over 50,000 fans were at the game. So to pass the time, fans made snowballs and ice balls, tossing them at each other. As more and more fans joined in the fights, stadium security started to lose control of the situation. A Pittsburgh Steelers fan was chased out of his seat after being bombarded with snowballs. A security guard tried to intervene, only to be pelted himself. The fan was ultimately chased out of the stadium, and eventually the snowballs began making their way out of the stands and onto the field of play, which made an already dangerous situation significantly worse, as the safety of the players and coaches of both teams was in jeopardy due to the frozen projectiles coming from the crowd. An NBC cameraman mounted on a platform that followed the play along the Chargers sideline was frequently hit with snowballs, and in all 10 of the stadium security guards were injured, and 14 fans were arrested, and 175 were removed from the stadium. Things got so out of control that Chargers players did not remove their helmets once they reached the sideline for concern that they might be hit in the head. NBC sideline reporter Will McDonough noted that he had to hide under a kicking net so he could avoid being hit with icy projectiles. Early in the fourth quarter, Chargers equipment manager Sid Brooks was hit in the back of the head with a snowball and fell face first onto the stadium's hard artificial turf. Moments earlier, the referee Ron Blum had decided to call a halt to the action and make an appeal for the fans to stop throwing snow. Using the Chargers sideline phone system, Blum called Giants public address announcer Bob Shepard in his booth, while two Chargers assistants stood near him holding clipboards over his head so that he would not be struck as well. Blum told Shepard that unless the snowball throwing stopped, he would forfeit the game to the Chargers. Before play resumed, Shepard admonished the fans for their actions and warned of a forfeit. Snowballs kept flying, but the game was reached to its conclusion. Giants head coach Dan Reeves in his post-game interview said that he would not have objected to a forfeit, saying the fans who were throwing snowballs had no respect for human life.
Crazy.
All right, so let's get back here to Scott. He says they're really topping themselves with idiotic finishes in this match. Oh, you ain't kidding, Scott. Okay, now we're down to Sid and Kid and the Guns. Billy takes a beating from Sid, and Sid clotheslines him for two. Sid with a chinlock, and Billy fights out of that, but walks into a big boot and an elbow for two. Billy gets a cradle for two, but Sid uses a staggering array of terrible punches to retain control and follows with a choke slam. But instead of making a cover, he sends the Kid to the top. But Razor comes out and shoves Kid off, allowing Billy to roll up Sid for the pin at 20-39 to win the prestigious Raw Ball. This was more accurately described by Bischoff on the other show that night as the Toilet Ball, because it definitely was a turd. Heatless and meandering with stupid rules and bad finishes. 1 star. Especially for something that took up half the show. Not to mention Vince and Lawler being absolutely unbearable in commentary, making lame football jokes that were all a bunch of non sequiturs. Oh, and also Lawler spent the entire match hitting on a centerfold who occasionally said, "This is wild," as her contribution to the commentary. Okay, yeah, this match is stupid, Scott, but you know what? This match was entertaining as all shit.
That's the thing. It was, when I watched it this morning, I was thoroughly, I like stupid matches, that go all out with that at times, because the whole timeout stuff, it didn't make any sense, as the timeouts didn't really get called twice, because at post Yoko squashing Owen there, you got clothesline out of the ring and was trying to call timeouts to stop, and again, nothing happened with there, so... And thankfully, they kind of would work and tweak at least the whole concept of a fatal 4-way match.
Yeah, this was kind of like the first one, if you think about it.
Yeah. Not going to hit a home run with each new type of gimmick or match style. But obviously, it didn't play out as well as they thought backstage, because we never got this again. So... one and done for the Smoking Guns, your 1996 Raw Bowl champions.
Now, I remember when the New Gen podcast covered this way back when. I remember them all being confused with all the football references, with them being in the UK.
Yeah. But then, if they did a cricket gimmick, then they would probably understand it. It's a lot more than we would. So...
I can only imagine how this played in like a lot of the foreign markets of WWF.
If you don't follow American football at all, you're not going to get a lot of it. And thankfully, being up here in Robin Sparkle's land where we get a lot of crossover American broadcasting and stuff, we got a good understanding of American style football.
Actually, at this time, wouldn't The Rock have just been in the CFL?
I believe so, yes.
Because wasn't he with the Stampeders at this time?
Yes, he was. I think he was just on their practice roster, and then that's when he got cut, and Papa Johnson's like, well, I'll talk to Pat Patterson and see if I can get you a job with wrestling like your old man did. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Okay, let's go back to Dandy Doc. Yeah, Dandy Doc Hendricks is going to give us a report on the upcoming Royal Rumble, so let's go to that.
Yeah, the halftime report.
Yeah, as we see the marching band right here.
Now with the Wrigley's halftime report. Let's take you to JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy all rolled into one. Let's take you to Dandy Doc. The Wrigley's
I love the fact that he referenced everybody on the NFL on Fox pregame crew.
And they're all rolled into one to make up Michael PSAs, I guess, so. Or Doc Hendricks here.
I kind of like this virtual set Doc is in. It's kind of like something out of like a mid-90s Windows 95 game.
Yeah. And this is also brought to you by Wrigley's Winter Fresh Gum.
By Winter Fresh Gum from Wrigley for icy cool breath that lasts. Well, hello and welcome to the Raw Bowl Halftime Report. I'm Doc Hendricks. Now, I got to tell you, this will not be like some meaningless, trivial, boring halftime program you've had to endure all weekend long. No, sirree, Bob. It's more like a 2-minute drill. Matter of fact, the clock is ticking. Still to come here on the Raw Bowl, 7-foot Big Daddy Cool Diesel taking on 568-pound King Mabel. Standing by, my broadcast colleague, Jumbo Ross. Jumbo, do you have Diesel?
Well, no, I don't. As a matter of fact, I did get a quick word with Big Daddy Cool, and he said very emphatically that right here tonight on Raw, that he was going to kick the King's can. That's all I got from here. Back to you there, Dandy.
All right, Jumbo.
That's all Jim had to say.
That's all we got out of Diesel? He's gonna kick the King's can?
What can is he referring to, Dane?
I don't know. I mean, there's possibly two kings he could kick. King Mabel for one, and then maybe Jerry Lawler for two. I mean, depends on whether or not King's wearing any black gloves tonight.
Oh, that's right, because remember, Diesel was a face to you if you wore a black glove. If you wore a black glove, he was still fighting for you.
Yeah.
And just remember, Dane, like Hulk said, we all know what a man with black gloves can do.
Oh, God, yes.
Okay, we got $1:33 left in Doc's report, so let's get back to it.
For that informative interview, I have to wonder which King's can was Diesel referring to as far as kicking. Now, the next big game here for the World Wrestling Federation will be January 21st, the Royal Rumble live on pay-per-view, emanating from Fresno, California. For the National Championship, it will be defending champion Bret the Hitman Hart against the phenom of the World Wrestling Federation,
Wait a minute.
Bret with his
Wait a minute. Because I thought Vince said the national championship was being decided tonight. And now we got the national championship being decided at the Royal Rumble?
Oh, I guess it's like a split national championship, like in years before the college football playoff.
Okay.
I guess the Smoking Guns won their half. They won like the AP poll. I guess Bret and Undertaker are fighting in the coaches poll.
Okay. Well, that'll make sense then.
Yeah.
And then what? We're going to get the winner of Bret and Taker versus the Smoking Guns in a handicap match to determine like the ultimate poll champion winner?
The undisputed national championship? Sure.
Much like that of the Cornhuskers going up against the quick striking offense of the Undertaker, much like that of the Gators.
I appreciate that Doc does reference the Nebraska-Florida national championship that we mentioned earlier with the Bret Taker match.
Yeah.
Johnson, the powerhouse, taking on Double J Jeff Jarrett. This rivalry got heated up at In Your House when Double J Jeff Jarrett flagrantly committed a personal foul on Ahmed Johnson.
Okay, now can we describe what happened in this angle to set up the Ahmed Jeff Jarrett match?
Okay, well, Ahmed's getting interviewed by Jerry Lawler after Jerry Lawler actually brought back, interviewed a returning Double J Jeff Jarrett. So, to set up this angle, Jeff Jarrett has with him a fancy gold record for the sales from his hit single, Ain't I Great? So at one point here, we're kind of now paused at here. Jeff Jarrett has decided to use said gold record to smack the crap out of Ahmed from behind.
And clearly this gold record was not gimmicked.
No, of course not.
And Jerry's got his hands up like, oh my God! Oh, now it's smashed.
And now the Royal Rumble match itself. It's going to have 30 All-Pro Superstars competing. We start with 2 All-Pro Superstars on the playing field. Every 2 minutes, a superstar rushes in with a blitz from the locker room. Then the only way to get ejected from the Royal Rumble is to be thrown over the top rope with both feet landing out of bounds. And of course, the winner of the Royal Rumble guaranteed a title shot at the Super Bowl of the World Wrestling Federation, WrestleMania 12. Now, don't forget, no one does pay-per-view like the World Wrestling Federation. And the Royal Rumble is just under 3 weeks away. I see the teams coming back out on the field. Let's get down to the field for the second half.
All right, King, when you hear the bombshell, when you hear who is signed to be in the WWF Royal Rumble, he's never been in the World Wrestling Federation ever before. What an athlete. Who is it? Well, I'll get to that in a minute. All right now we're going to take you to the hog pin matchup. The guest referee is going to be the one and the only Hillbilly Town.
Okay, so we have a replay of the hog pen match between Hunter Hearst Hemsley and the hog man Henry Godwin. And I'll be happy to note, Dean, that Scott did give us a review for this in his Raw recap. So,
okay. He didn't just simply cut and paste his review from that In Your House?
Oh, no. So let me read it here. Your special referee is Hillbilly Jim because Vince loves hillbillies. Yes, the object of the match is to throw your opponent into a pig pen, which is way across the arena. But they start in the ring for some reason. Henry quickly slugs Hunter into the ropes and ties him up before rubbing some slop in his face. Hunter escapes that and beats Henry down in the corner and follows with a neck breaker. And we take a break and return with them fighting at the pen. So they cut a bunch of the match out via the ad break. Hunter tries a pedigree into the pen, and I don't even know how that would work. But Henry backdrops him into the pen, and Hunter manages to land on top of the fence to escape. So they head back to the ring for no reason I can determine, and the Lawler makes Jeff Foxworthy ripoff jokes about Arkansas. Hunter tries a monkey flip, and Henry reverses to a wheelbarrow facebuster and whips Hunter into the corner for a flare flop that puts him on the floor. And we take another break and return with them back in the hog pen again. Also, we get bonus footage of Huckster and Nacho Man setting up the breaks, although still no introduction of who they are quite yet. Henry hits the slop drop, but charges and gets dumped into the hog pen to give Hunter the win at 11:46. This was quite the deal since the original match only ran 9 minutes. Somehow adding all the breaks made the match even worse. It was okay on the pay-per-view, but breaking it up like that completely ruined it. 1 star.
I mean, yeah, it's got a point there that, yeah, you're better off just that short of a match to just run it straight through without any commercial breaks. And yet people today complain about there's too many commercials.
Scott notes that next week we're going to give away another pay-per-view match with Brett and Bulldog. Well, they need something to compete against Nitro, I guess.
But in fairness, the Brett Bulldog match was actually pretty good. If you're going to try and compete with Nitro, which is running a bit hot at this time, go for broke.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, we got Jeff Jarrett against Hakushi, and Shawn Michaels is going to give a press conference, Dean.
A press conference? Oh, yeah, that's right, because this is around the time that we had the angle that helped make Owen Hart with setting up the Enziguri as a possible career-ending move. somewhere in Harlem, New York, or mall in Calgary. Bad news at Allen's like, damn, Hart Mafia stealing my moves now. Bunch of berry sharecroppers.
Ugh. So that's next week on Monday Night Raw, but we still got Diesel and King Mabel coming up.
Oh, dear God.
But Dane, don't you want to see King Mabel's entrance?
Maybe. Since it's just some generic rap background music and some royal fanfare horns mixed in with it. It was an alright theme, but I think at this time, too, we had poor jobbers having to carry all 560 pounds of Mabel on a throne.
Oh, yeah, these thrones, especially this one guy, which I'm going to point out to when we see it, so.
Yeah.
Yes, all this and more as the first WWF Raw Bowl continues here tonight. On his way to the ring, here comes King Mabel. And on his way to a press conference next week, ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Michaels. We will have the result of that press conference right here as Michaels puts it into all of the rumors one way.
Oh, look at this guy here at 3808, Dane.
He's corpsing a bit there, too. Send for the man.
You know what, Dane? I bet this was the highlight of this guy's career right here, carrying Mabel on the sedan.
Yep. Either that or his other highlight is being one of the doormen for the King of the Ring. 95 or 96, I believe.
I heard that guy knows something about a wisp named Willow.
Willow!
Do you know what that is, Dane?
Ooh, that's not Brother Nero. I knew you'd come.
That's right. This is going to be an end to Michaels' career. I'm telling you, I'm letting the cat out of the bag right now. Shawn Michaels, next week, you'll hear it right here on Raw. He will announce his retirement.
Oh, no, Dane. Oh, that can't be true.
Tell me a lie and say that you're not doing that.
Oh, that's going to be a shame. Shawn Michaels is going to have to retire.
Retire, yes.
First, those damn thugs beat him up in Syracuse, and then Owen hit him with the enziguri.
Yeah.
Well, at least hopefully his best friend Diesel will beat the shit out of Mabel for us.
And then hoping also Diesel will then exact revenge on Owen for doing such a dastardly thing to him.
Well, unless Owen decides, you know what, Diesel, I don't want to mess with you. I'm going to wear a black glove so you don't beat up on me.
Yeah.
Certainly hope that is not the case. If it is, that would be nothing short of tragic. Yet to come here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Big Daddy Cool Diesel against Mabel, plus that bombshell announcement. Wait till you get a load of who has entered the WWF Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and Ashley and I can't wait to see the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy.
Wait a minute, the Lombardi Trophy?
Yeah, the Lombardi Trophy. They're going to give away a trophy to the winner, so the Smoking Guns are going to get the Lombardi Trophy, Dave.
But the Lombardi Trophy, as in Vince Lombardi, is NFL's trophy for their Super Bowl.
Well, apparently, I guess they must have gotten the rights to use the Lombardi Trophy.
Oh, typical Vince. Couldn't find a scratch to keep Scott Hall and Kevin Nash from leaving to WCW, but had enough money to buy the rights for the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, he had to pay Paul Tagliabue the big bucks to get the Lombardi Trophy for this episode of Raw.
Yeah. In a way, Paul Tagliabue helped start off the whole new Monday Night Wars and the whole NWO angle.
I didn't even think of that. God damn it, Paul Tagliabue. No wonder you're dead now. Okay, let's go to Scott for Diesel and King Mabel. Poor Jeff Hardy gets to be a throne bearer for Mabel here, visibly wincing trying to carry it. No wonder he got addicted to painkillers. Oh, God, Scott. Jeez.
Come on, Scott. He's actually finally cleaned himself up now and doing TikTok dances with one of his daughters.
Yeah, come on, past Scott. Okay, Diesel attacks and hits the big boot and pins him at 10 seconds. Thank God for that. And then Mo gets destroyed and powerbombed as well.
Jeez. Back when it lasted longer in the ring with Diesel than poor Mo and Mabel here.
Yeah. Well, by the way, when they got back from the break, Brother Love was still doing his speech to nobody. Nobody told him that the match was over. Like
The match was over. Go home.
Yeah, go home. All right, let's go to the post-match celebration here from Diesel because I want to play this.
Fireworks always going off where Big Daddy Cool Diesel is. And I don't think now would be a very good time to
No, go
grab a
ahead,
word.
McMahon. Go up there and talk to him.
No, I don't. Why don't you?
Are you afraid to?
I think you got a better shot.
I'll do it. I'm not afraid. Watch.
Go ahead. The king. Go ahead. The king.
Hey, Big Daddy Cool. Diesel.
He's looking for those black gloves, and there is a sea of black.
Come here, Diesel.
Question about it. And Big Daddy Cool.
There's a lot of fans with black gloves. They listen to Diesel.
They still love Diesel, even though he's kind of got a bit of an edge to him now.
Yeah, would you say that Diesel is the first ever tweener in WWF history at this point?
I would believe so, yes.
Because he is doing some heelish things,
Yeah,
but technically he is still a face.
yes.
And I think we also see this in WCW with Luger, where he was a heel with the Dungeon of Doom, but he'd be a face around Sting.
Yeah.
So yeah, 96 was the beginning of the concept of tweeners.
Diesel now. Stepping over, I guess. Could it be he's going to talk to the king?
Yeah.
This will be the first time Big Daddy Cool Diesel has anything to say since losing at WWF.
I wanted to ask you if you were. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, my goodness.
Hold the phone. Hold it, Diesel.
Oh, my
Wait a minute.
goodness. Take a look at
What are you doing? No way.
Okay, I love the fact that, like, before that Diesel does, like, his hand motion there, like, too slow with Lawler before snagging away Miss Robble and walking back to the locker room.
Okay, but Dane, we're going to go backstage. We got the very first ever Lombardi Trophy ceremony for the Raw Ball.
Let's see what this Lombardi trophy is going to look like.
It's going to be the actual trophy. I mean, they said it's the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
The Lombardi, wait, the Brooklyn Brawler gave the Lombardi Trophy? And
Yeah.
it's a trophy of the Brooklyn Brawlers. Oh, I get it.
Oh, because his government name is Steve Lombardi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just pictures of his face taped onto like someone's bowling trophy or something.
Yeah, it's
And-
made out of cardboard, these
Yeah.
pictures of Steve.
And we got, looks like Hakushi and Ahmed Johnson in the sweet-looking shell tracksuit there.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at Hakushi at 42-44. He's fascinated by the trophy.
Yeah.
Steve Lombardi,
Let me tell you what we think
the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah. Hey, whoa.
Oh, wait a minute. Look what's happening to...
Get out of there, Brawler.
Wait a minute.
What are they doing?
It's going to be a lifted breast tea bath.
No.
Okay, also, I think we saw Savio, but I think we saw somebody in I believe that was Marty Jannetty in the background, too.
Yeah, either Marty Jannetty or maybe even Bob Holly, as he had black mulleted hair at the time there, too, still. But I can go with Marty as well, too.
All right, let's hear some more of this marching band here, because we got 3 minutes left here.
What come to think of it? That's probably the first bath Brawler's had in a long time of any kind. Hey. All right, stay tuned for the monster announcement. Who's going to be in the Royal Rumble? Plus, we're going to take you to Billionaire Ted's Wrestling War Room. Stay with us.
Okay, we're going to get a report on who's going to be in the Royal Rumble, and I'm really excited to see who's in the Rumble match, Dave.
Yes. He's been teasing a big star who's never been in the WWF before, so who could it be? A dinosaur? A rabbit? Maybe the Playboy of the Month?
The Playmate? Oh, my God. All right, so let me... now I got to look up Playmate of the Month for January of 1986. All right. I'm doing this on my mobile phone too, so this is what I love doing this on my mobile phone. Then I'm gonna have to get answers in my search history for like months. Okay, the Playmate of the Month, Victoria Fuller was the Playmate of the Month. She has also appeared in the Playboy special editions and was in the May 2005 issue.
Speaking of a rabbit, I got to give out a little bit. From this past week's SmackDown, we had the Joe Hendry Christmas concert, and we had Tozawa as an elf and Otis as Santa Claus, and we also had, mistakenly identified by Michael Cole, the Easter Bunny. That was clearly the ice cream bunny from Santa and the Ice Cream Bunny people. That was not the real Easter Bunny.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 1996 WWF Rumble. A lot of talk these days about the upcoming Royal Rumble to take place in Fresno, California. And, of course, the winner of the Royal Rumble then goes on to face the WWF champion, whomever that might be, at WrestleMania. Yes, the date, January 21, live from Fresno, California, exclusively on pay-per-view. And who was the first man to sign his name on the dotted line? Big Daddy Cool Diesel.
Yeah, but what about Owen Hart? He'll be there.
The British Bulldog has in it as well.
Yeah, and Dory Funk Jr.
Also,
Wait, Dory Funk Jr. is going to be in the Royal Rumble?
Well, probably one to Terry, but maybe his horses were too sick again.
Oh, Dory, I was considering my Vince to be in the Rumble, but my horse is sick. I think you should do it in my place, Dory.
and then Savio Vega.
And King Mabel, he the king.
Bam Bam Bigelow, the beast from the east.
And Perry Horowitz.
I love Perry's nerd-ass getup here. He looks like a science teacher.
Science teacher / Mort Goldman, the wrestler.
Yokozuna.
And look at this, McMahon. Back in the World Wrestling Federation for the Royal Rumble. The Native American Tatanka Dunkity.
Oh, Tatanka, the fucking sellout.
Well,
Well, at least Lex is no longer here. He doesn't have to worry about him beating the shit out of him.
no.
Figured that. Unless it's this man. In the Royal Rumble, the man known as Vader.
What?
Vader?
Vader?
Vader time.
Oh.
We just were about to see him go against Hogan. But I think somewhere in there, too, we got a quick glimpse of what became famously available last year was Vader doing moons, like bouncing on a trampoline and doing like somersaults in the air.
Oh, yeah, on the Vault channel we saw the outtakes from this. Yeah, because it's basically Vader training for the Rumble match. But, when I heard Vader was going to be in the WWF on this show when it aired, I was like, holy shit, Vader in the WWF.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. A new monster heel since there are other big fat monster heels haven't worked out lately in terms of Yoko ballooning and losing a lot of his mobility, and Mabel, well, I mean, God bless you, Mabel. That's your passed away there a few years ago, but you weren't memorable at all as in terms of getting heat or anything significant in the ring. So yeah, having a monster heel that can actually go, that's get in. I mean, I'm looking already forward to Brett and Vader feuding down the road. No major new opponents for Brett to face down the road yet. Might as well run Brett Vader at Mania 12.
Okay, well, we got to end this skit with Billionaire Ted's Wrestling War Room. So, okay, I guess we got to play this, Dane. Here we go.
All right, listen, man. We need more action from our stars. I want them to pull out all the stops.
Okay, boss. We have some suggestions.
As you can see, this first maneuver is extremely impressive. You think you can pull it off, Huckster?
No way, brother.
Okay, that's a tough one. Nacho, how about this maneuver?
No way, never.
What about the jackknife?
Ain't done it in my entire career, and I ain't about to try it now.
How about climbing the ropes and performing some aerial tasks?
Brother, at my age, my feet don't leave the ground.
Well, tell us, what can you boys do?
You can't teach old dogs new tricks. The new WWF generation. On top of the hill, not over it.
Wow, what to say?
Man, was Vince desperate to stick it to WCW, huh?
Yeah. And thankfully, this is one of the tamer ones, because I know later on they get a little bit more personal and tacky on Ted Turner and some things that he or said in interviews and stuff. That had nothing really to do about WCW, just personal attacks on Ted Turner for whatever reason.
So, I'll say this. It's not a good show, but it's an entertaining hour.
Yeah. I mean, was it a bit of a... Was this and next week going to be kind of an FU to the fans who paid for In Your House to get 2 of the matches free? Maybe, but again, like I said, they're really starting to hemorrhage losses to WCW in terms of ratings. And they're trying whatever they can to stop. And of course, we know later on in 96, it's going to be all downhill in terms of trying to compete with WCW for WWF, even though try as they might, it just ends up being kind of like lightning in a bottle with the NWO. It was an entertaining 45-minute show.
I mean, I was never bored during the match.
Exactly.
I was always entertained by all of it. And it's a unique match that they never did again, so...
Yeah, I guess the ratings weren't that great. That'll be the last time that Vince would think about mixing his wrestling, sports entertainment stuff with football.
Yes, because as we all know, Vince would never do that again.
No, not especially after trying to buy the entire Canadian Football League and the Board of Governors told him to kick rocks. And Vince was, well, fine then. I'll start my own football league with blackjack and hookers.
Okay, well, Dane, it's a new year. So let's go in our next episode to 2010 TNA as we're going to review the January 4th, 2010 episode of TNA Impact.
Oh, I think I remember this is also the beginning of the first of many reboots of TNA, but this time we have our old friend, the Hulkster, in charge.
Yes, him and Eazy-E.
Easy? Well, yeah, hey. Well, this is interesting. I mean, they captured Magic once in WCW from 94 to 97. I'm sure they have fresh ideas to catapult TNA into both relevancy and to become a legit number 2 to the WWE at the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this will go on with no problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
And TNA will be fighting with WWE for that number 1 spot very soon.
Yeah.
Well, on our next episode, we'll be here as we watch the January 4th, 2010 episode of TNA Impact. That's coming up next time, right here on the Squared Circle Time Machine. I'm Greg. That was Dane. Thank you for listening to this episode. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.
that's how it seems. Never known another way, living out a dream. Now I know you're leaving me, and I'll never understand. Before I let you walk away, I have one last demand. Tell me a lie to say that you won't go. Look in my eyes and hold me, even though I realize you have to walk away. No more yesterday. You always were my angel, flying high above, always looking out for me, angel that I love. Now my dreams are fading like age-old photographs that hurt too much to look at now, reminders of our past. Tell me a lie, say that you won't go. Look in my eyes and hold me, even though I realize you have to walk away. No more yesterday. Maybe we could stay together. Maybe it could last forever. Maybe if you just tell me a lie. Maybe then we'll never say goodbye.